Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. This is Pete coming at you from PBS Pro Logistics at Conagra Brands here at the dairy plant in Indianapolis. What I'll be covering today is the construction meeting. It was kind of a little more extensive meeting today than normal. Just covering some things and settling on some things for the upcoming pour on Wednesday. They're still planning on a pour date of Wednesday. Like today, it's very nice out. It's about 74 degrees out. It's supposed to be a high of 86. But we got rain coming in on Tuesday. Well, a chance of rain. 60 to 70% chance on Tuesday and a 40% chance on Wednesday. So, but they should have some good dry days the next couple of days, getting things ready. So I'll go ahead and pan over to what they're doing on the site right now, and I'll go over some of those things. And so some of the things we covered was start time. Start time is going to be 4 a.m. It's going to be about a 4 to 5 hour pour. As soon as they get done with the pour, they'll go ahead and do the saw cut that same day as far as the joints. And then it's a 7-day cure time. And on day 7, if the brakes come back okay, they'll go ahead and do the caulking of the joints that day. And day 8, they'll do the painting of the lines. And then day 9, which should be Friday, they'll call Robert Dietrich in to go ahead and put the dock locks back on the building. Some of the things they covered as far as safety. Any of the crews that come in here, they'll cover safety issues such as what they need to do in case there's an ammonia leak. Anybody on foot will be required to have a hard hat on and eye protection. And the other thing we covered as far as the flow of traffic, the concrete trucks will come in from the entrance gate off of Guyan Road. And they'll come in there. We'll have the gates locked open. They'll come into the pour area. They'll pour their load. Then they'll go on around to the north side of the building and follow it on around to the gravel road, which is the fire lane. And that'll lead them back to an area where we'll have a clean out dumpster. They'll do their clean out there. And then they can continue on around the building to gate 1, where they'll exit out onto 62nd Street. And so another topic we covered is where the testing company will set up for testing the concrete. We'll block off dock door 30, and he'll set up shop there where he'll be testing the middle third of every load that comes in. And then as far as parking for the construction crew coming in, there could be 13 to 14 extra guys in here. And so as far as a place for to park their personal vehicles, in the employee parking lot, there's an area along the building where we park excess empty trailers. I park 5 trailers there, and the day of the pour, we'll clear those trailers out. And that'll be a place for those extra personal vehicles to be able to park for the pour time. Just trying to think. The other thing we covered was possibly changing up the phase order. Originally, we were going to do phase 1, which we're working on now. And let's see if I can pull up the site map here. So originally, what we're working on now is phase 1, and while that's curing, they're going to go over and work on the gravel road, the fire lane, and then when they get done with that, they're going to make sure that's still prepared and ready before they come back to the next phase. They're going to make sure that gravel lane is still usable for the fire department if they had to use it. Then the original plan is to jump over to phase 2, which is the area in front of dock doors 20 through 30. but they're proposing the idea of possibly splitting up this third phase, which was supposed to be kind of a long, skinny run. They're wanting to break it possibly into 2 pours, so that way they can do phase 1, they can go back to the fire lane, and then instead of coming over to the other, what was supposed to be phase 2, the idea is being proposed to go ahead and do this skinny section east of the phase 1 pour, so that way when drivers come in, they'll have that full run to be able to back their trailer in, because right now it's pretty tough for guys to get indoors. So that's an idea that's proposed. The only thing that they have to decide is if they want to go ahead and incur the additional cost, because right now there's just 4 pours set up, and this will add an extra pour because it'll break this skinny section into 2 separate pours, and so it'd be an additional day where they would have to bring in crew for that pour. So that's the only thing that's hanging out there that Patrick and them will all have to talk about and decide if they want to go ahead and do. So I'll go ahead and pan back. That's all I have for the construction topics. I just talked to Sam a little bit ago. He said there's about 20 loads left to load for the day. He said there's 13 orders left to pick and about 60 TOs out there. And as far as capacities in the parking lot, the main parking lot for trailers, we're over capacity today. There's space for 54 trailers, and we've got about 60 trailers back there. So we're about 15% over capacity. And then the temporary lot today has about 22 trailers in it, and we have room for 33. And so it's about 67% capacity today. That's all I have to cover, so I'll tune in tomorrow for the daily video, and I'll go over any new topics that need to be covered and what kind of progress they make today. Everybody have a real nice day, and we'll see you tomorrow.